Hey guys, my name is Daniël-James Vandenberg. This is the MoneyBru show. We're talking about cryptocurrencies. We're talking about which ones are scams, which ones are not scams, the different platforms you should be using, how to know how to invest evenly without being like a day trader. That's my whole philosophy. So enjoy this episode.
I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane for you. Come along.
Talking about cryptocurrency, we're talking about a bunch of different things. This is not my car. This is a good friend who I bumped into. This is a Porsche Carrera S, very cool vehicle. This is my car, and what I want to say is I love Subarus. You don't have to be like a crypto millionaire to enjoy life, right? So it's not always about the money, but today I want to tell you guys about the basics, how crypto works like for beginners, and kind of how I got one of these. This is a crypto card. Basically slides out like this. And I'm not going to show you my card details. This is the ruby red card. And sorry for the loud traffic, I'm like kind of next to a highway. So you want to know how to do this, what this is all about. There's 10 things I want you to know. Number 1, why should you listen to me? Number 2, how did this all start? Number 3, how does it work? Number 4, where did the value come from? Number 5, what can you do with it? Number 6, how do you actually buy it? Number 7, what are the top 5 cryptos I recommend? Number 8, what are the top platforms? Number 9, how do you stake and invest for the long run? And number 10, NFTs. So let's get right in this. Number 1, why is it important to listen to me? Because your money is at stake. I have a web design agency and I've leveraged crypto to kind of help me build reserves, save money, build interest, and grow as a company. These are our different team members. These are also like the companies we've helped and worked with over the years that have made us credible. So this is one of the reasons that I think it's important to kind of pay attention because this is affecting the business realm pretty heavily. I started in crypto, how you guys can start in crypto, how that all works. So back in like 2019, I was running an e-commerce store. I was running a business through that, and I found crypto by doing e-commerce. And in that e-commerce business, in like a short time period, we made sales and used leverage on a platform that had crypto involved. Used that with shipping arbitrage, like getting cheaper discounts. I would get up to 35% off of my cryptocurrencies. The reason this is so powerful was just the discounts from credit cards and stacking crypto discounts. I'm actually going to not share too much of this. You can go watch the video I'll mention at the end. But yeah, one of the months we made 10,000 and it was really incredible. We got 262% growth because of crypto. Okay, so let's jump right in. I'm going to explain a lot of this with these 3 elements and how it works, right? You have Mr. Genius Brain and the leopard, right? They're trying to make a transaction. The old-fashioned way is you need the bank, which I call the shark, right? So the shark basically says, fine, I'll give you, you can have this basketball. I'll link it to your bank account. You can take the money out of these 2 ledgers, these 2 bank accounts. That is how transactions are done. The bank takes the fee. They're the middleman. Crypto removes that. It's peer-to-peer. It's global. It's decentralized. And the only place where fees occur is there are miners that are confirming the transaction. So instead of a bank, imagine Manny the mannequin is the miner back there. I think he's this side. That's Manny the mannequin. He owns a mining computer and he becomes the middleman for this transaction. You're talking about multiple computers around the world that are acting as the bank, that are middlemen. It takes 3 computers to verify a transaction, or 3 algorithm codes that get qualified through those different computers that are mining. The new bank is miners, and they don't have control over the transactions either. They're algorithms that get automatically solved. Once they've been solved, then those top miners get that fee. So the more expensive Bitcoin or Ethereum is, the higher those fees can be, except if you're using something like XLM. These ledgers and wallets are anonymous. You can only send on these networks. So Mr. Leopard can't just come in and withdraw from his bank account. That's what's really cool and how safe that is. This Mr. Genius Brain from Rome has to actually send it over, okay? Simplest way I can explain it. I hope that made sense to you. Whatever questions you have, leave them in the comments. Let's start from the beginning. History of Bitcoin. Go look on Wikipedia. This is a great one. But pretty much there's a guy named Satoshi Nakamoto who's a pseudonym. He's private. No one knew who he was. But there was like a bunch of other developers who they thought that could have been Satoshi. And I think that's what really happened. You can watch a really cool documentary on Amazon about it called Banking on Bitcoin. Amazing. Kind of like shares everything behind the whole theory and the scariness of it. So it could be like a giant scam, like if this guy doesn't exist and whoever owns it, but it's not. So they come up with this concept in 2008. They were sick of banks and sick of kind of like the usual banking system. They wanted something decentralized. So keep that in mind. What's also interesting is that these cryptos, when they're made, there's only a certain amount available. So you can see there's only about 2 million Bitcoins left to be mined. That's 90% of Bitcoins have been issued. So where does the value come from? Same thing as the dollar, as I mentioned before. You have to look at it where everyone trusts it, use the system enough that it's adopted, and that's where the value comes from. What are things that you can do with it, right? You can transfer with low cost. It can be instant anywhere around the world without a third party. You can earn interest, you can invest in innovative early startups, make private transactions, things you can do. Censorship resistant. So they can't just close your bank account. They can't close your, right? They can't block you like it's in your control, especially if you have like a wallet that is off of the online platforms. Maybe it's on a hard storage. That's for another video. You can get paid early, you can rent out space, you can travel the world, you can buy a Lambo or a Tesla. I'd be stoked to get that on my hands. So now the big question is number 6, where do you buy it and what's the most trusted? I would always use platforms that are larger. So Coinbase is regulated by the SEC. It's the one I personally use. There's Gemini, Crypto.com I also use. There's a few others. I like Binance. I don't like ones where you have to buy through the stock exchange as an ETF, because you don't actually own that coin, right? You're owning an ETF that's tied to a coin. So make sure of that when you're going to buy something, that it gets linked to your wallet. And another little secret is if you buy it on Coinbase, and I'll have a link here where you can get a bonus $10 free of Bitcoin in the description. Obviously no need to use that, but if you need it, cool. Basically you buy it on Coinbase.com, and there's a few things you gotta remember. Number one, there's going to be a holding fee in the beginning because you have to verify your address, verify your name. Once those things are covered, then you can buy instantly and trade instantly, but you may not be able to send instantly, right? That's the one thing that gets irritating in the beginning, is they want to trust you, over time. Secondly, if you use PayPal on Coinbase, you can instantly send funds, and the fees are kind of relative, so just keep an eye on that. I love Crypto.com. There's a link in my description for that as well. What is cool about them is, like I mentioned before, is they just have everything at your fingertips. They've like sponsored a lot of events, doing a lot of advertising. You can earn like really cool staking rewards from them. However, they lock it in for like 3 months, but it's not a big deal when you're getting such great rewards. The card I showed you, they have crypto debit cards. My favorite feature with these is actually to use it for your Netflix, Prime, Spotify, basically get those rebates. So if you use Spotify, Netflix, the one that I like that you could go with is this first one and get a 100% rebate on Spotify. And then once you have more invested, you can get 4,000 back. What's also neat is that money gets staked. So it's not like your money's completely gone. You're just staking it to get that, crypto card. Plus you can brag with your friends and be like, hey, I have a cryptocurrency card, if you're like an early adopter type. Now let's talk about the top 5 cryptos, and I like to use a platform called CoinMarketCap. And the reason for that is you can see how these different coins are doing based on how much volume they have. But let me cut straight for you guys on how I perceive this. Basically, Bitcoin, Ethereum is my favorite. I don't like Tether. Too many scams, too many stories behind Tether that I'm not very fond of, that I don't like. Check out CoffeeZilla. He has a good video about why Tether is crazy. BNB is great. Crypto CRO is great. USD is phenomenal as a stable coin. Stable coins are coins that are backed by the dollar, and then you can put them in staking and get rewards like that. So there's some sort of safety behind that. There's ones that are backed by gold that you can do as well. There's utility coins, and that's something I should talk about here. Coins that are like Polygon. Polygon is a utility coin. It's used to swap other coins, and so there's things like that. There's meme coins, which is like Shiba Inu. I'm just so passionate about this topic. It's so exciting for me to be able to talk about this once and for all. We're not a crypto channel, but this is always so much fun. So next I want to talk about kind of like staking and how to stake and where to stake and things like that. When it comes to staking, I always recommend like using features and platforms that are gonna make the most sense for you. So crypto.com, they have a 3-month, a 2-month, and a 1-month staking. So you put your crypto in there and just invest for the long term. It's the same as stocks. The people that come out ahead in stocks, they know that it's a long game. It's a game for the retirement type investment thinking. My favorite story I had with that was I once invested in Shiba Inu at the right time. I put in like $300 or $400, and that grew to like $2,000, $3,000, and then I bought some golf equipment with some of it, and I was gonna put like sponsored by Shiba Inu or something on there. There's other things that you can do as well, like you can stake by building your own bots on your own platforms, and that's a little bit more advanced. Like I'll share links on that, but I don't always recommend doing that. It's not always worth it. So be very careful on how you do this. I'm more of a passive investor. I want my money to sit and grow. I don't want to be actively trying to change things or move things around.
When it comes to NFTs, I have one that I am very proud about. This is a Wombo coin created by the guys in my office, and I bought it on OpenSea. I am a big fan of coins that are utility or have some sort of purpose. Basically, this is my physical NFT version, and then this is the digital version, which I have the gold one and the green coin.
The founders are Azova Marketing. They've developed it. Bike Shop Agency, Peter Romero and them worked on that. And I'm collecting that one because it's got that physical value.
I bought this for a certain amount of Ethereum, and I used OpenSea, which is the platform I recommend to use. It is very complicated, and as I mentioned in the other part of this video, that NFTs are a whole nother ball game. Take it with a grain of salt. It's risky. I only think 1% of all NFTs are going to be valuable one day.
NFTs are still in such a risky phase. To be frankly honest with you, there's just so many scams with NFTs, and the value is so arbitrary. But I will tell you, the NFTs that do have value, I believe, are utility NFTs. NFTs that are like tickets. Once you buy it, you have access to a concert, like a digital art, and that's what NFT is. It's a digital piece of art that's linked to the transaction or the blockchain of your wallet. So if you have a wallet or like a bank account, for example, imagine that there was a piece of art tied to that bank account. So that's how people know it's yours, right? It's got your name on it. It's your privacy.
NFTs are a whole nother ball game. Take it with a grain of salt. It's risky. I only think 1% of all NFTs are going to be valuable one day, so keep that in mind. But you have stuff like the Bored Apes Yacht Club. People are part of clubs, like I mentioned before, that are really cool. You have the CryptoPunks. That it's basically collectibles, if you're into that stuff. One hack I will give if you're gonna buy one is use this thing called Rarity Tools. And in Rarity Tools, you can scroll down all the way to here, see the average price in dollars too, I believe, or in Ethereum, and you can kind of get an idea, right? So if something is like 2 Ethereum, it's a lot of money. That's like 10,000. If it's 0 point something, it's a different amount. But you can look for different NFTs at certain rarity values. So like if I pull up, like, let's say this one, I know that I can see the different rare, like this one is the rarest in that collection. I can click on that and I can see, basically why it's rare. I can also look at it in OpenSea, and I can check if there's a price history value on that NFT, because you got to be careful. Some people will buy and sell their own NFTs, so that's risky. And you can see if the project's verified. If it's not verified, I don't really trust it that much. You can also take a look at their Instagram and Twitter, and how much of a following do these people have. And I've spent some time, there's a few golf ones I like. My wife laughs at me because it's kind of ridiculous, right? Like looking at NFTs.
There's just been so many scams that I'm very careful to give financial advice. You have to invest in your own way, and I'm gonna just give you ideas. You have to implement that and take your own risks. The other type of NFT projects I'm excited about are the artists. If you buy a piece of art, you only make money once on that transaction. So where NFTs make sense is like if Picasso was still alive, whoever would resell that art, the NFT can link back to Picasso's wallet, and he could get 5 to 10% back from that transaction. So therefore, artists are now empowered. Anyway guys, thanks for watching this video. Make sure to like, share and subscribe. Pump that like button. I'm gonna bring you more cool content, more cool cars and people on the shows that I'm producing. Let me know what your thoughts are about crypto, why you don't invest, why you're not in the game, and why you would rather invest in other stuff or the things that you've had success with. No soliciting spam or sales. Don't try and sell people. All the links are in the description. I appreciate my audience, from former MoneyBru to DJM.Design. Liking, sharing, subscribing helps us pump that genius brain, helps this leopard get into the comments and discuss things with you guys. Please go check out this video on the best deal hacks that you can go through. There it is. So there's deal hacks that you can kind of look through the best, and I even talk about the platform that I mentioned before where you can get a 30% discount on Amazon, and go check that out. Use my link in the description. It is a phenomenal video and it blows my mind every time I watch this concept. And yeah, go watch that video I mentioned about the deals. It is mind-blowing. I will see you on the next one. Cheers. Bye.